When it comes to becoming a better hitter in MLB The Show, there are 3 tips that I would suggest you follow before we even get into gameplay. The first tip is to always stay hydrated. Have a gallon of water or whatever it is of any liquid next to you. Make sure you're hydrating yourself hourly, every 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever is necessary for you not to be thirsty. And then number 2, make sure you always have snacks around you as well so you don't go hungry, because when you can't focus on the game because you're either thirsty or you're hungry, it's hard to actually hit and it's easier to get mad whenever an outcome doesn't go your way. Third tip is to always make sure that you set a timer, and every hour, every 30 minutes, whatever time suits you, you go ahead, get up, stretch out your neck, etc. If you're hydrating yourself correctly, you should be getting up every hour minimum to go ahead and use the restroom and then come back. During that time, you can refill the snacks, refill your water, or even stretch a little bit. I would suggest doing all 3, to be honest with you all. So now let's dive into how to become a better hitter. And with that, we need to go to the main screen and then all the way down to where it says learn to play custom practice. Now there are usually 3 teams or 5 that you would want to use to pitch to you. You can use the AL All-Stars, the NL All-Stars, the Groundbreakers, the Boomers, or the Beasts. You go ahead and use whichever one you feel is best for you. For this example, we're gonna use the AL All-Stars. For hitting, use whatever team you want, whatever team you feel comfortable with. I would suggest an MLB team, although, because usually their statistics and attributes, or attributes I should say in general, are lesser than those players in those legend teams and all-star teams. Therefore, it gives you more leeway into practicing with players that are going to resemble what you're using in Diamond Dynasty, or are even less in terms of attributes than what you're using in Diamond Dynasty. Therefore, when you head into Diamond Dynasty, you will excel with those players that you're using. So first thing we're going to tackle is practice type and how to work on hitting through practice type. Now there are 3 categories for practice type. There is batting, pitching, team practice. The 2 that we're focusing on today is going to be batting and team practice. There are certain things you can do in batting. For example, you can pick the hitter. This will always repeat, so it will never go ahead and cycle the hitter. For example, if you get a base hit with Betts, it will stay with Betts hitting for the entire time until you head back in here and change the hitter. If you put Bieber, it's gonna stay with Bieber the entire time, and that's usually how it is regardless of batting or team practice. It will always stay with whatever pitcher is there. Now what's important about this is you want to go ahead and make sure that you're getting righty on righty action, as you see here, lefty on righty action, and then you also want to make sure you change the pitcher so you get some lefty on lefty action and some righty on lefty action, because you're trying to excel against both sides of the plate and both sides of the pitcher. Now when it comes to the pitch request, you might be wondering, what exactly does that mean? So this allows you to select which pitch you want to work on. If you want to work on all 5 of the pitches that Shane Bieber has, then you go ahead and select each 5. Down here, pitch location request, you can basically select where you want him to throw the ball, and it is unlimited to the amount of selections you can make. So you can only have 1, you can have the entire strike zone, or you can only have 3. It's up to you, whatever it is that you do want to work on. And you need to know as a hitter yourself, what are your weak points, what you need to focus on, and what you need to get better on. Now, when it comes to difficulty level, when we head over to gameplay, you as a player, if you're new and are struggling to even beat Conquest on Veteran, I suggest starting on Rookie first. If you're experienced, you should know by now which difficulty is the hardest for you to play at. I'm not talking about I'm an all-star level ranked seasons player and I struggle at Hall of Fame. If you're an all-star level experienced player, you want to make sure you master all-star level before you increase the difficulty and head on to Hall of Fame. So once you feel comfortable, regardless of whether you're experienced or new, then you're going to continue upgrading or increasing the difficulty until you reach the end, which is legend. Now the hitting view, if you want to be a competitive player, the universal best hitting view is strike zone, but that doesn't mean that each and every single player is going to excel at strike zone. Some players excel at strike zone 2, some strike zone 3, some strike zone high, offset, wide, whatever it is. You need to find what you feel most comfortable with, but keep in mind that universally strike zone is the best hitting view. So if I were to give any extra advice on this, it would be to make sure you get accustomed to strike zone, because it's going to pay off in the long run. Now, when it comes to hitting interface, obviously you want zone on. The in-play view offense is optional. It's whatever you desire. I personally like high. And then when it comes to the plate coverage indicator, listen to me closely and listen to me carefully. There is no universal plate coverage indicator that is the best in the game. Every player you see play the game will change their plate coverage indicator from time to time whenever they are struggling and they feel like a change would benefit them. And usually the change benefits them for a while, and then when they start struggling on that one, they either go back to their old one and find that, hey, I'm clicking once again with my old one, or they try out a new one and see, hey, I'm clicking once again with this new one. So you want to make sure you go ahead and mess around with each and every single one of these settings, especially if you're a new player, and just find what you're comfortable with. Me, I started off with wedge on, circles on, same PCI color, same transparency, and as I continue playing, I found out, hey, I'm struggling a little bit to hit with wedge. I'd rather see how I can perform with just circles, and it turns out that circles allowed me to focus a lot more and hit a lot better. So therefore, I am now using only circles. So for the first step in becoming a better hitter, what I'm going to go ahead and suggest you to go ahead and do is to make sure all of these settings are to your liking. And then once you got that, the first thing we're going to do is turn off the plate coverage indicator, and whichever rookie you feel, or not rookie, whichever difficulty you feel comfortable at, that's what you're going to set it on. And you're going to come and hit, and for 30 seconds, you're just going to go ahead and watch the pitches and track the pitches with your eye. Not with the analog stick, none of that. Just track the pitches with your eye. 30 seconds, righty on righty. 30 seconds, righty on lefty. Then you switch the pitcher to a left-handed pitcher, and then you put 30 seconds, lefty on righty, 30 seconds, lefty on lefty. That's going to be a total of 2 minutes of you just watching the ball. And after you do that, just watching the ball, you're going to rinse and repeat. And this time around, instead of watching it with your eye, you're going to turn on whatever plate coverage indicator it is that you're using, and you're going to simply follow the ball with the PCI. I'm saying 30 seconds, but you can honestly do it for an entire minute with each and every single pitching hand and each and every single hitting side. So it could be a total of 4 minutes, 30 seconds to 1 minute for each, I would suggest. And this is just gonna allow you to follow the ball each and every single time with your PCI. It's gonna also allow you to go ahead and basically see the ball a whole lot better and just focus in and lock in. Now, once we got that done and you're ready, you've had 8 minutes or 4 minutes, depending on what was the time you selected, you're going to start swinging away. You're going to start tracking the ball with your eye, tracking the ball with the PCI, and this is when you start working on your timing. You start finding out, hey, where's that ball going? Okay, I see it. My PCI is on it. Now is when I press X. You're going to pay attention closely and into detail to that bottom left hand corner, because it's going to tell you the timing, it's going to tell you whether you're good, just late, etc. And you're going to work with each and every single pitch that you see. Now, if you want to get into specifics and learn how to time a fastball before you learn how to time any other pitch, then all you have to do is go to practice type, go to batting once again, and then deselect everything and just put a fastball. If you're struggling with an inside fastball to a right-handed hitter, then spend a minute just hitting inside fastballs with a right-handed hitter. You do whatever it is that you are struggling with. No one knows you better than yourself when it comes to what you can hit and not hit with. Now, this is when we go and transfer this into the next practice type, which is team practice. So after you go ahead and spend 12 to a total of, let's say, 6 minutes tracking the ball with your eye, following the ball with your PCI and not swinging, and then timing your swing, you're gonna go ahead back into practice type and you're gonna select now team practice. Obviously, you're the offensive team, so you want to hit, you want to put the leadoff hitter. And the reason I love the Dodgers is because they go ahead and resemble a ton of your Diamond Dynasty teams, where you would have a righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, and then lefty, and then another lefty again. So they resemble a lot of Diamond Dynasty teams. That's why I love using them. So you go ahead, start it off with bets, start it off with whatever team you have, And the beauty about this is it will be like Showdown. It will be like an actual game. You start off with an 0-0 count, and then pitches are going to be strikes. It's going to be counted for in terms of outs, and the lineup is going to progress, unlike if you were just using batting. You're going to be able to use righty on lefty, righty on righty, etc. And you're going to be going through the Dodgers lineup, and then whenever you are done going through the Dodgers lineup, all you have to do is, or not done, but whenever you get 3 outs, you just go ahead and switch the pitcher if you'd like. And if you don't want to switch the pitcher, you can go ahead and just simply start with whichever hitter was the 3rd out. You start with the next one. So for example, if it was a 1-2-3 inning and Turner was the final out and it resets me back to Mookie Betts, instead of me starting with Mookie Betts, I would pause it and then start it with Bellinger, because I know Bellinger is the 4th hitter of the team. And then if it's another 1-2-3 inning, then I would start it with Pollock on the next at bat. Now you're going to want to do this for roughly, I'd say, every day. You're going to spend a total of 30 minutes practicing this. So if you spend 12 minutes doing the tracking, PCI following, and then timing, if you spend a total of 12 minutes, then what's remaining is 18 minutes. So I would suggest doing 9 minutes against a right-handed pitcher, and then doing 9 minutes against a left-handed pitcher. And each and every single day, switch the starting pitcher that you use. So if you use Bieber on Monday, then on Tuesday you use Garrett Cole, and if you use Ryu on Monday, then the next day you use Keiko. And the same thing goes if you are using another team that's not the AL All-Stars and you're using the Groundbreakers, which I would suggest you to go ahead and use. If you're using the Boomers or the Beast, whichever one of those 3 legend teams, which I would highly also suggest using because they have most of the cards that are going to be endgame cards in Diamond Dynasty, I would go ahead and switch the pitchers there as well. I would use still Live Series players because Live Series players have lesser attributes than your Diamond Dynasty players, so therefore it will be more difficult. But then when you hop into Diamond Dynasty, it will be a lot easier. And like I said previously, once you feel like you've mastered that rookie difficulty, you're going to go ahead and increase it to veteran. Once you start getting the hang of veteran, you feel like you've mastered this veteran difficulty, you're going to go ahead and increase it to all-star. Once you've mastered that all-star difficulty, you're going to be more of a complete hitter than any player that is starting the game off, obviously. But you're going to be more of a complete hitter than you'd ever desired to be, because after that, Hall of Fame is not too difficult to grasp onto because you're an excellent hitter and all-star. And then legend, once you become good, obviously it's all incremental. You're going to become better with each and every single difficulty increase, and you're going to be able to master each and every single one. So you're going to be able to adjust to whichever difficulty you're playing in Showdown, etc., as I personally do. Now, one thing you also have to keep in mind is that playing MLB The Show, it's not going to be easy to go ahead and become the same hitters that you see on Twitch, on YouTube, etc. Each and every single hitter has practiced for hours and hours and hours. It takes reps and reps and reps. That's why I'm telling you all, 30 minutes every single day will go a long way into this. You take 30 minutes every single day, you start off on rookie. In 3 days, you start hitting the ball really well on rookie, start reading the ball really well on rookie, start timing your swing really well on rookie. You advance to veteran. The same thing happens. This time it takes 4 days. Now you're feeling good about yourself. You go to all-star difficulty and it takes you 3 days to actually master it, and you're like, oh my God, I'm actually doing what's right. And then you head on to Hall of Fame, and all of a sudden you go ahead and are mastering Conquest on Hall of Fame, Legend pitch speeds, etc., and you're not having a problem just placing the PCI where it belongs or any of that. And then, as I've said previously, if you want to work on any certain pitch, just staying back, etc., you can just put a fastball and then the majority of the other pitches as his off-speed pitches, but you can't do that in team practice. The only way to do that would be going into batting. But that is my hitting tips for you all. I hope you all go ahead and check them out, follow them, and spend 30 minutes in the lab. That's basically what you call this, custom practice lab. Spend 30 minutes every day, and I promise you, in a week, you will see incredible differences in your swings, incredible differences in your timing, incredible differences in everything in general. So if you did end up enjoying today's content, please make sure to hit that like button. Please make sure to hit that red subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on all social medias at Bhlademyst, which is spelled on the YouTube channel. Well, it's the same spelling as the YouTube channel. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out.